Jump into Vieques like my buddy Raleigh Rick Meadows did.
After taking the leap and planning our trip, he quickly realized this was one of his favorites.
The food's amazing, the island's amazing. I was talking to my wife Annie earlier, and this is not only our favorite New Year's trip, we've been doing it for 10 years with everybody. It's our favorite island as well. We've traveled all over the Caribbean, and this is our favorite island. It's beautiful.
It's just a quick jump of a small plane ride, about 20 minutes from San Juan, Puerto Rico. More efficient, we are told, than by ferry.
First thing you notice here is paradise, with views of the Atlantic and the Caribbean.
Second, horses. Lots of them roaming free. About 3,000 horses on an island of only 10,000 people. Brought by the conquistadors, the horses are friendly and eager to be fed by locals and visitors.
Third, the beaches. Considered some of the best in the world. There are so many that you feel like you have them all to yourself.
As you saw that when we took videos, that was great, isn't it? It's like you see people down there, but they're like this big. And that's the charm of our island.
Our guide is Susan Osborne, full-time resident, artist, and property manager of this great home that 8 of us stayed in for 5 days over New Year's. How nice? Well, my buddy Hank didn't want us letting the world know.
You need to stay at the house we stayed at. You need to meet Susan Osborne.
Stop it. I don't want them to do that.
Oh, that's true. No, sorry. Susan's horrible. The house was terrible. Couldn't get the air conditioning to go off.
Honestly, rent a house. The house was great to have a starting point. Obviously, rent a Jeep.
And there are plenty of Jeeps here. You will need it for the tight roads and rocky terrain, plus the absence of Uber and Lyft.
Plus, a lot of the island is barely developed. One reason is that this was a U.S. Navy bombing range from World War II through Vietnam. Now, the bombing tests have stopped, but after many protests over health concerns, parts of the island are under U.S. Navy cleanup, the biggest industry on Vieques.
And those cleaned up lands are being returned to the natives, but you won't see lots of high-rise development here yet.
As a result, Vieques is not for those who get bored easily. You need to be a self-starting adventurer.
A rite of passage for people, here is the Sugar Pier, defunct for nearly 100 years after sugar prices fell in the early 20th century. But locals love to fall into the water here, as Raleigh Rick did twice.
It was awesome. It was very fun.
Would you do it again?
No.
The pier is also a great snorkeling reef. Now, even though Vieques isn't recognized for snorkeling or diving, our traveling partner Stuart says it should.
The diving was pretty good. It's not really known as a dive destination, but they have some beautiful reefs here, and we saw some stingrays and barracuda and some other tropical fish.
And is it worth bringing the stuff?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely worth doing some diving here.
Vieques is known for its Bio Bay tours. The bay lights up with bioluminescence. Take a nighttime tour in a 2-man, clear-bottom kayak. It is worth it. The video doesn't do Mother Nature justice, so we got these shots for you.
The islanders here are very protective of the bay, so they discourage development.
As a result, there are no golf courses on Vieques. If you want the links, you will have to take a ferry or a plane ride to other islands.
Vieques is also known for its restaurants, thanks to locally grown produce and fresh fish. Here are a few spots you must hit.
First, the El Canapo. Our traveling partner Maggie, an actress, a foodie, and someone who speaks undercover jet-setter lingo, found the cucumber collar.
It has Saint Germain in it, which is one of my favorite liqueurs. It's got cucumbers and mint and lemon, and it's refreshing and delicious, and I think it's a really creative presentation in the glass.
And you said it was kind of like having a salad almost.
Well, yes. I mean, you might as well call it a green juice. I feel like I'm cleansing practically by drinking it.
The Portuguese-style sautéed calamari is a must, with sriracha, olives, capers, tomato, white balsamic oregano, and spoon-bread demon pesto.
Not to be outdone, the mofongo with shrimp and lobster, a classic Puerto Rican dish with African origins that was begging for a return trip.
Another great find was Coqui Fire, with some homemade hot sauces that have a range of sweat factors, even in the drinks.
This margarita had a hot salt rub and some jalapeno-infused tequila. It is a lively, fun bite, but it won't set your mouth on fire.
And the ahi tuna here was superb. Get it.
You also want to head to the Tin Box, best sushi on the island. This is the ahi tuna, light and delicious, and this is the local lionfish, which was superb as well.
But also try the Tin Box watermelon margarita.
We traveled with 8 of us, but Vieques is also perfect for a couple's getaway or even a wedding or honeymoon when you just want to be alone.
And you want to enjoy the people of Vieques. They are very friendly. We made what has become a customary stop at the living room, an outdoor area where some of the locals just sit and drink beer.
That every time I go by, you beep and you wave and you yell hola or something. And sometimes I drive through and just drop them off some beers, and people stop and visit them all the time. So we just started calling it the living room.
And so these guys just hang out and just talk all day?
Yeah.
Wow,
And they change out. It's not the same guys all the time, but pretty much, yeah.
And it's kind of endemic of the laid-back way of life here?
Yes, yeah, that's for sure.
One of the best spots to see the sunset is at Al's Mar Azul Bar. There you can meet local folks, and most of them will have suggestions for you on restaurants and places to see.
It may surprise you to meet many Americans from the mainland who have moved here. We will explore living here in another story.
Vieques is part of Puerto Rico, which is part of the U.S., so that means you can use the dollar, your cell phone, and most times, your English.
Now, despite these comforts, you will feel like you are definitely getting away.